details tonight about the alleged terror plot targeting the UFC fight at the White House. Investigators say they stopped several suspects from attacking the nation's capital with snipers and drones. 5 people were arrested in this plot, and investigators say these suspects plan to detonate explosive drones over the fight. The investigation is far from over, and officials still believe there are suspects at large.
Joining us to talk more about this investigation is Bruce Hoffman, a Georgetown professor and member of the Council on Foreign Relations. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
So you've been studying terrorism for nearly 5 decades now. What stands out to you about this case?
Well, there's basically 3 elements in any terrorist plot: motivation, intent, and capability. And at least on the first 2, motivation and intent, they were quite serious. Whether they could have pulled it off is another story, but they were certainly thinking big because they came up with a 3-phased plot. First, as you described, dropping explosives from drones and causing a panic at the fight and as people rushed out. The second phase was that snipers would pick off high-value targets, especially members of the cabinet or members of Congress. And then there was a third element to this, is once there would be all this tumult and disorder, then they proposed to storm the White House and shoot their way in.
And Bruce, we want to talk about a big part of this alleged plot involves drones, which, of course, these days are very easy for anyone to come by. Can you talk to us about how this technology has changed security at major events?
This has been, I think, one of the preoccupations, certainly of those charged with security of any major outdoor event, especially a sporting event. There's been a problem for years with drone overflights, for example, or attempted overflights of the Super Bowl or of normal football games. Certainly with the World Cup going on, this is at the top of the concerns of those charged with that security. And we have to say, for almost any major public event, this has to be something of a threat that must be taken very seriously.
The FBI says the suspects actually met each other online. How common is this when it comes to political violence?
Extremely common, and this is what, on the one hand, is so worrisome. You had 5 individuals from 4 different states, ranging in age from 19 years old to their early 30s, who came together on the internet. Fortunately, they were intercepted. Their plot was unveiled by the mother of the 19-year-old, in fact. But that shows that it was really just an attentive parent and good fortune that derailed what could have been a very serious and tragic event.
And of course, looking ahead, we have a lot of major and very significant events with expected large crowds coming up to celebrate the country's 250th. Bruce, does this change preparations for all of those events?
Well, we've already seen with the White House Correspondents' Dinner how an event that's high value, that's high visibility, nearly results in a terrible attack. So certainly security was already being reconsidered at all kinds of events, but especially with the 250th anniversary of the founding of our country. Anyone who wishes America ill from overseas, and as we see with this plot the other day at the White House, even those within this country will seek to take advantage of one of these marquee type of events to elbow themselves into the limelight and to perpetrate a terrible attack.
Georgetown professor Bruce Hoffman, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
All right, take care, Bruce. Well, crews are working